You have an unusual parenting style.
Well,
what do they call it? Is there a name for it?
So attachment parenting is like the umbrella term.
Isn't it true the kids sleep in your bed till every night?
People do it a lot of different ways. The fact is, in the early stages of parenting and breastfeeding, it is normal for mammals to sleep near their babies, and most adults don't want to sleep alone. So children also don't want to sleep alone. So there's a way that there's a set of, and also because like this is my neuroscience, perspective as well, it's hormonally beneficial for mammal babies to sleep near their moms in particular.
You do make
That's
a good
not
point.
bad. My kids have never negotiated with me, bargained with me to stay up, one more glass of water. They don't fear sleep. Sleep is a safe place. They now sleep together. They're 5.5 and 8, two little boys. They don't fear sleep or nighttime. And as a kid, I hated nighttime.
Yeah.
I would cry. I was up all night. That's not good either. And when I hear people I can't get my kid to stay in bed, maybe they just want to know that you're around and be closer. I don't know. Figure it out.
Breastfeeding till the kid is 4, right? That's you.
Okay, so
That's heavy.
Hold on. In attachment parenting, yes, and the Leche League International and organizations that support breastfeeding. I'm also a lactation educator counselor, so I come from also a sort of educated lactation perspective. Yes, breastfeeding is a normal, natural thing that primates do, and they often will do it longer than is socially acceptable to Western culture. I was not breastfeeding my 4-year-old on the subway. When he was 2, yes, there was a trip from Coney Island where no one would have had a good subway trip if I didn't breastfeed that kid.
Right.
So
you kept him
that
quiet.
happened.
Yes.
I kept him quiet, happy, and everything was fine. So,
Part of your parenting, the kids do not wear diapers.
Oh, no. So my kids did not wear diapers. That's called elimination communication. But it's actually, I know, it's actually separate from attachment parenting. Many people, some people who do attachment parenting do this. But so you, basically babies are born giving signals when they pee and poop, I promise.
Right.
And if you learn those signals and reinforce them, they will give them stronger and clearer. And we taught our kids to sign. This is the sign language sign for potty. By the time they were 12 months old, they were signing for potty. They couldn't walk, talk, or eat solids. They only breastfed, but they could sign for the potty before they could even walk, talk,
Is it the same theory with a dog? Like dogs will you could teach them to go to the bathroom outside.
Right. So you're more training yourself to learn the cues that the baby will give. And if you don't reinforce them, a baby will stop giving those cues. And it's not for everyone, believe me. But especially with boys, it's easy. We just hold them up over a tree, and they would wear cloth diapers, but then they were in underwear by 17 months. There's no reward and punishment. There's no gold star. There's no chocolate chips. It's literally that they have taught you what to look for, and it's a fascinating method of communicating with your child because all they know is that you understand them and are there to support them. It's not for everyone, and it's not part of attachment parenting, but I did write about it in my book.
You can tell when your child is going to have to pee. So
absolutely.
If your kid is sleeping in bed with you, did they pee on the bed many times?
Yes, but pretty much every time a baby wakes up to nurse or gets restless at night, they're probably going to pee, especially if they're breastfeeding. It just kind of goes through them. So I would have a potty by the side of the bed.
Wow.
And I literally would just lift them up.
Even as infants, no diapers.
My little one, I would use cloth diapers that often were dry. But my little one, I did it literally from the first week he was born. My older son, I started at 6 months. And my ex was like, this is crazy. Right. He's like, you want to breastfeed?
Really? No accidents?
He's like, no, there's plenty of accidents, but that's the thing.
That's how you learn to read
I don't know, you deal with it. I have wood floors and you wash things and you always smell like something with a baby.
Like a super involved mother.
I was.
And
I still am. It's different when they're not
it's
babies.
It's impressive, but how do you have a life of your own when you're that? I mean, you devote every second of your life to your kids.
Well, look, in their first years,
I admire it.
No. And in their first years, it was very intense.
Yeah.
It's very intense. And the fact is, especially in the industry in the way, why aren't you going for martinis with your girlfriends? Why aren't you going away for weekends with us? And it's hard, but I think what's amazing and what always existed in human and primate culture was a group of women who supported each other in what they were doing and took turns doing things.
It's fascinating.
So we've lost that in our communities, but that's why people do things like go to these Leche League meetings and go to these holistic moms organization meetings, because you meet like-minded people who won't make you feel crappy that you're not going for martinis. We made it work in those years.
We live in a culture where we're all sort of off on our own.
Absolutely.
You're right. If you go to a La Leche...
No, and the goal is to have your stomach sucked out and go for martinis. That wasn't my thing.
But you really are very selfless. I'm very impressed with
Thank you.
that
It's
you
a
are
big
willing.
It's a sacrifice. I agree.
It is.
It's a sacrifice.
I mean, one would almost say, gee, why doesn't she go out on a date? Or
Sure.
why doesn't she go with the girls? Maybe she'll meet a guy.
Sure.
But you're devoted to these kids.
Well, and the fact is, when I'm not with them, I get my time to socialize and to learn to have friendships as an adult. Because, my whole adult life has been like being married and being with kids. But when I'm with them, yeah, I want to be with them. And I don't know. They're happy. They're rested. They have rosy cheeks. And they like being with me and with their dad. They seem pretty well adjusted. And they are very
Are they in regular
people.
schools now?
No, so we homeschool, which is, again, not a celebrity thing. But,
Right.
I mean, I'm the only celebrity in our homeschooling community that I know of.
But how can you homeschool them?
Well, because they're with their dad, and he does their
Dad
schooling in the
work,
week.
or is he just free?
He's home. He got his master's in poli-sci, and
Right.
he is their full time. I mean, yeah, he takes them to all their classes. He teaches them. I mean, like, this is kind of the and again, that's not a celebrity elitist. We're hiring tutors in our house. Like, the only tutor we have is for Jewish studies for my older son.
Right.
But no, they go to classes in the park. There's Lego engineering classes. There's all sorts of. There's PE. All those things they go to, and he takes them when he's with them. I teach them piano. I do a little tap dancing class for them and another one of their friends. And I will
Wow.
teach them. I taught my older son to read and write Hebrew, and as they get older, I'll probably be their science teacher.
You are a throwback to a day that, I mean, doesn't exist anymore. You should almost be in a museum.
I am
where
in the
people
wrong
could-
era, correct?
You really are. You should be Amish or something like this.
Amish,
Yes. Or you should be on a kibbutz.
Right, there
right?
we go. No, I'm very kibbutzzy,
This
yes.
is very kibbutz-like.
Absolutely. No, I believe in that sort of communal participation.